I'd just like to also that I don't see North Okanagan or the Okanagan on your search thing for BC.
Okanagan is wait a minute, it got another name, right? Wait a minute, Okanagan. Yeah, Central Okanagan School District. Right?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so it's right there. It's just the name of the school district is, yeah.
Okay, so letting you know, Pierre, I've started record, so we could go through that process
Okay,
again.
good. Okay, let's say if you want to. Okay, so if you want to look for a book, let's say you go on the www, go for that. You know, yeah, I got the links on my website anyway. So you just go on my website on book locations and you click on this little, oops, sorry, this little square here. Click here, then it's going to open Destiny for that. So let's say I want to take a look. So you see, I can look in United States, in the another kind of US territory, Canada, and the other country there. So we're gonna go on British Columbia, and that section is new actually. So we can choose a school district. So I can put the Abbotsford School District, and actually I'm gonna put the Burnaby School District. Burnaby School District's right there, and I'm just gonna. Here I can have on the Excel sheet here on my website. You can have the list of school. Actually, if you click here, if you click on the school tab, you're gonna have all the school name here. So just so you know, and the links directly to the libraries. Now I just want to find the school that has genderqueer, which is Burnaby North, okay, and Alpha. So I'm just gonna close this. So I go back here, then I put Burnaby North Secondary School. Wait, yeah, right there. Then I just click go. Okay. And this number actually here is the identifications number of the school. It's an important number if you want to script the research. Okay, so that's useful for people who are good at scripting. Okay, so then from here, I type the name of the book, genderqueer. Then here we go. So the book is there. So usually when you go on one school, you're capable of seeing the other locations where that book is in other schools. So if I click on gender, the way to do this is you click on the book, genderqueer, then you click here on view more detail. Then you click on copies right there.
Oh, nice.
And here we go. Now you got this, the book is in École Alpha, Burn Creek, and the Burnaby North. Okay. So previously, that book was only in those two schools. So that's mean that the Burnaby School Districts now just bought a book. So what I do, I'm just gonna update that. I know I'm gonna do this later, but yeah, so I update my list and I share the list to everyone. So I suggest if somebody find the books with this method, to share this with everyone and myself, so I can update my database as well and share it with people. It's good when we share the information, all the work that we do to other people, so they don't need to do it. And yeah, so that's the way. So you just go here. Anyone wants me to look at one school?
Is there anybody on the call that wants Pierre to go and look at their school?
Sure,
Can
Mary.
we do Cambridge?
Yeah, which province?
Which province?
British Columbia?
Ontario.
What's the name again?
Cambridge.
Cambridge.
Like the university.
Oh, university?
No,
it's
it's
like the
Cambridge
same name.
Elementary.
Okay, that one, right?
Yes.
Cambridge Elementary. Okay, let's go. So, in Surrey, well, you probably got lots of bad book there. So there we go. So, yeah. So we can.
So are you right now in the school's library catalog?
Yeah, I'm right in the school library right now. But usually, to simplify this, let's say you see that number here, and I can't give that sheet to people if they want to, so you'll see what I'm gonna do. That's just the trick. If people are interested, I can show them how I do this. And yeah, so
Where you are right now, are you still on your website or somewhere else?
oh no, that's my no, this is every links on my website point out to other website.
Okay.
So this folded things point out to the libraries of the school. So now I'm in the I'm not on my website. This is not
Okay.
my website. This is the website of the school.
Okay.
So that I'm doing this that way just to provide people with real evidence. It's not just me that is saying, oh, the books are there, right? Because anybody can say it. But the thing is, I'm providing the proof that the books are there, and the proof is directly on the online libraries of the school.
And Pierre, to whom do you show this evidence?
Hmm?
Who sees the evidence?
When you want to get rid of the books in the school, who do you show the list to? Who do you show the evidence to?
Oh, well, I showed this to trustee. Usually, I sent an email to school
This-
districts, to trustees, just to make them aware of the school, of the books that they have in school. And yeah, so you know, I do like to have an acknowledgement of the receptions of the email. So which told me that now they are aware of the type of books they have in schools, and now-
And does your language in the email demand that they remove these books?
yes, it does. Yeah, right at the end.
So maybe we should show them.
One of the later, but if you want to take a look at the later, you can go right here. I got a couple letters here actually. Let's go with the Waterloo School District. That's an interesting one.
I think your letters are fantastic because it also shows the criminal codes that they're breaking in
Yeah.
having these books in the schools, and you're showing the evidence in black and white.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that one's got a request actually. Oh, that's probably really understand. I need to. Oh yeah, you see, in good faith, I would advise the school board to remove those books from the library. Contact the librarians, review those books with teachers and parents, and make sure that all book selection policy has been followed. Please advise on how the board will proceed. You know, so yeah, so I provide them that type of letter, right? I state the what is a non-contact sexual abuse as per the Canadian Center of Child Protection, which is a very well respected government funded organizations in regards to child abuse. They are still good, you know, government funded organization out there, which is good. And that one is the one that the RCMP are using when they want to have some gain knowledge about the sexual abuse. Actually, they are referring to that site. It's the same site that the RCMP are using. So, and so I'm also show them a report that was done by the same organizations regarding an epidemic of child abuse in Key 12 school. So I show this, you see right there actually.
So Pierre, if I may,
Yeah.
why is it that some books are taken away, but not all?
Oh, but yeah. It depends on the people. It depends on the trustee. It's very complicated. You know that. Yeah, it's case by case. You know, in Waterloo, it may be a bit more harder to remove some books that it is in Abbotsford, because Abbotsford is a very religious city, right? And I do know a couple people there, which I won't mention their name, but you know, so, and I've been after them for 2 years. I mean, yes, I removed 4 books in 2 years, so it's not a lot. So, but the thing is, the first 3 books I removed was at the beginning of this battle, actually, maybe a year ago, actually. I removed 3 books one shot, and yeah, so that yeah, Yeah, that was not that bad actually. Yeah, so the first 3 books was at the beginning of the battles, and the genderqueer, to remove the genderqueer, I didn't even have to write down any form. I just showed them that the book was in the school. So the book was removed from the schools and give it to the school superintendent. And then the school superintendent realized, oh my gosh, they're not lying when they are saying that the books are there. And
What did you get from Costco?
huh? Yeah, so anyway, so then they realize, oh, okay, well then they just remove the books when they saw all the pornographic materials within the genderqueer book. And that's just the beginning, right? I mean, they are going to remove more, but the thing is, we give each other power, and we all become more powerful in regard to what we can do. So I was able to remove genderqueer, let's say, because let's say people like David is fighting in Ontario and Ronish is fighting, that we're all fighting together. So it's the more we all fight all across the country, the more we give each other power, and the more we are going to be able to remove books. I mean, I'm pretty sure right now at this moment there is a lot of people who will be able to remove genderqueer from school because it has become more political. So that's the thing, right? You can go with the pet. I write down all the policies, and I went with the entire process at the beginning, but that was a catch-22, right? So they just keep me in the same circles, right? But it's important to do it so you can tell them that you did it and it didn't work, right? So it's important to go with the use less bureaucratic process at the beginning, just to show the some authorities that you did your work, that you didn't just saw a book or saw some things online and start to complain about it. You made your research, and you write down the policies, and you went with the good process, I will say. But I think it's important to go outside of the process too. We have to attack this in multiple way. It's not if I don't remove a books in 1 week, see, I'm not gonna wait another week with the same method. I just try to attack this in many ways, or talk to people and ask people to do some things on their side. It's a constant fight, right? It's not. It's it's have to be attacked in many angles, but writing.
So, Pierre,
you
can
go.
I ask you,
Mhm.
can you walk us through the steps on
Yeah.
what we have to do first to get rid of the books in our school districts? What is the first step? If anyone on this call
Yeah.
wants to do that, what should we do first?
If you
Where do
are a
we-
parent that has a children in that schools, you have to talk to the teacher. Okay.
Okay, so then
First.
you talk to
Yeah.
the teacher about the pornographic books?
Yeah, and for the teacher, listen,
Okay.
there is some pornographic book in the schools. I would like you to have a
read the
look at it. And if
So
the teacher,
on our SOGI Task Force website, under the Solution tab,
Yeah.
there is letters that people can print out for principal, trustee, or teacher that you can print out along with other things if you're not quite sure the language to use in approaching your teacher, principal, whoever. So then that's the first step. We have a meeting with our teacher about the pornographic books.
yeah, you
Okay,
just talk about it. You don't need to be
aggressive.
no, but you don't need to know everything in order to approach subjects in the school systems. And this is something that school understand, is that parents should not know everything, but they do have the right to approach things the way we believe it's right. You know what I mean? Parents don't need to know the entire policies and the entire ways of do things to discuss stuff with the teachers, because it's not the job of the parents to know everything. So
But the first step, we would go to your website, check the book location, make sure those books are in our school, right? Maybe print them out
Mhm.
and then have the discussion with our teacher.
you can start at that, or you can start with the books. If you have some books, yes. If you don't have some books in that schools and you are wonder if they are teaching gender ideology to your children, well, ask the questions directly, right? Just ask them what.
So that's where you have to look at the homework assignments and stuff. Okay, so the first step is
Yeah.
talking to the teacher, and then
Yeah.
they can access the information from us and the task force. Then what's the second thing? What if they say to you, this is part of the curriculum, the trustees approved this as learning materials, what is my next step? What do I do?
Well, that's usually the next step. You talk to the principal. That's the
Okay,
next.
and then I talk to the principal and I say what?
Well, you explain the same thing. Then you talk to the teacher, they didn't work. What do I do? I would like you to investigate this and see what's going on in your school. Why do you have those schools? Are you going to remove them? And you know, you have a nice discussion with them. And you know, usually they don't give a damn shit.
No, they don't really
So,
care.
yeah, usually sometimes depends the way you approach it, right? Yeah, I can explain the way I approach it if you want. But-
Sure, and someone else asked Pierre,
Yeah.
could we also speak to the librarian because she's responsible?
Yeah.
Some schools have a librarian. The school I worked in, we didn't have a librarian. It was a rotating teacher. So if my class went in, they wanted to check out books, I'm the librarian for my class. Some schools have a librarian and they're in charge of the whole library catalog.
Yeah.
It just depends. So if they have a librarian in their school, would you suggest they go and talk to them?
Yeah, sure. Talk to whoever is in that school or something. It's just better, you know.
Okay,
Yes,
so
maybe you're gonna find someone who actually agree with you and it's gonna make some change.
no,
Yeah.
nobody was willing to work.
Yeah.
Okay, so you talk to the teacher, talk to the librarian, talk to the
Yeah.
principal. They all tell you, hit the road, Jack. This is part of the SOGI curriculum. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
part of LGBTQ, inclusive diversity. What do I do next?
Well, usually the principal at that time is gonna tell you to fill out the forms and to send this to the office of the superintendent in school.
So he's going
So-
to give me a form. Okay.
Yeah, so he's gonna give you a form, then that's where the things begin, right? So then you start to fill out the form. I got a bunch of book review on my site. You can use them, put this on the form, and you told them why you disagree with the books, why you don't like showing pornography to children, which is a stupid question to ask, but anyway.
But
So, yeah,
also
then
on the end of your letter, if
Yeah.
you can scroll up, if people want to look at that, Pierre actually has laws in here, child protection, child rights, other things, and the examples of why, if people are not quite sure, the information that you put on the form as to why you're debating this.
Mhm.
That's helpful too, right, Pierre?
Oh yeah, if you want to go to the letters, they're very useful because the letter we refer to the own policies and to the law and to what is our duty to report as well, right? There is that things too. You have to keep in mind that showing sexually explicit material to children is child abuse. So what you are doing actually when you are telling the teacher or the principal that there are some books in school that has the potential to abuse children. So you are actually exercising your duty to report. You are doing what you have to do as a citizen. So they cannot just stop you and tell you, you cannot, because if you have concerns about sexual abuse, you have to talk about it. No one can silence you
Silence.
to expose sexual abuse. So that's the way I approach it, because for me, it's clear in my head that showing sexually explicit material to children is child abuse.
Yes.
And what I'm doing, I am reporting that. So it is my duty.
Can someone turn off, I don't know whose mic we're picking up. If someone has any background stuff, just because we're recording and some people want to follow the steps. Okay, so the school is giving me some forms. I have to fill them out. I'm telling them why I don't like this stuff. And who are they giving the forms to?
You give the form to the school districts, to the office of the superintendent.
Okay, so now
give
I'm
them
going
the
to the
form.
school district. I
Mhm.
hand my forms to the superintendent,
Yeah.
what my complaint is, and then what happens?
Well, then if he doesn't agree with your complaint, then you can go with with the law, which is you can have a judicial reviews of the decisions that they made. So you can review the decisions that they made in front of a judge, which I never went that far, but I could actually.
Okay, so
Yeah.
on your website, can we quickly go through the laws that these schools are violating? Because you and I know them, but other people here will not know the criminal laws that these schools are violating. And also,
sure.
Julie left. When I did the interview with Julie that I'll put up soon, I had learned that when trustees pass a bylaw or they're amending a law, it has to go through 3 hearings and 3 feedbacks from the public. The Vernon School District actually canceled one hearing so parents could not have a voice in that. So there are protocols and policies that trustees have to do when they're trying to pass bylaws, amend bylaws,
Yeah,
that the public is supposed to have a voice in making those changes. They can't
Yeah.
just say, okay, we're going home, that's done. You guys don't get to have a say. You're anti-vaxxers, you're freedom convoy, blah, blah, blah. That is also that people need to know. Okay, so here is the laws on, yeah, that if you're a teacher or a school official, I mean, we all know, but for the other people, I think
well,
it's
the
important.
law is criminal code. Criminal.
People also on this call, while he's looking it up, the Infant Minor Act has been changed 0 to 19 in Canada. Children do not need 0 parent consent. If you live in the United States and you're on this call, they need 1 parent. In Canada, they don't need none. So a child can go off and do whatever they want. Now that Trudeau has passed the made one that children can now consent to suicide. So now we've got the
Yeah.
UN also decriminalizing pedophilia. So now it's, it's okay if you have sex with a child and not going to be arrested. The US, I just understood that Biden and the White House is also just passing a bill to decriminalize pedophilia. So they are trying to make it legal to have sex with a child. Okay, so you go
Yeah,
ahead and tell us about
as
the laws.
crazy as it sounds, that's exactly that. It's so crazy,
No, it's sick.
Yeah, it's sick in the head. So anyway, so
Sick.
here making sexually explicit materials available to child. Every person who commit an offense will make it available. So then you can read it, 171.1.
Yeah. So if
That's-
everybody can go to, this is the government website, Criminal
Yeah.
Code of Canada. This applies in every single province. So when you are
Mhm.
doing your letter saying this is why you don't want this in your school, use these laws in backing up your evidence.
Yeah, and if you want to, but first you have to take a look at the definitions too of what is sexually explicit material, right? So in the definitions is on section 5 here, which is, you can read it if you want,
But this is the thing, Pierre.
Yeah.
I am fighting that this stuff is sexually explicit, that it is distributing pornography, but they're hiding under this is part of the LGBTQ
yeah.
and we need to have it. And so now we're hiding under the umbrella of diversity, inclusion, and equity. And too bad, so sad for me. So how do I get around that? Because you can see,
Well,
I mean, isn't
Well, you just have to tell them to stop associating the LGBTQ with perversity, because that's
Okay.
exactly what they do when they are telling you that. If they are telling you that showing sexually explicit material to children is okay because of the LGBTQ community, they are telling you that the LGBTQ community are a bunch of perverts. So you have to tell them to stop associating the LGBT community to perversity, because they're not pervert, they just have different sexual style, right? But they so it's just so yeah, so the school board actually are the one who who are very damageable for that, for those community, because every time there is pedophilia in some of those books, and then the school board come and said, oh, those books are there for diversity to include the LGBTQ communities. Like, really? I don't think so.
No.
I know I got a couple gay friends, and
Yeah.
and they
They
they don't read
but-
pedophilia. They don't like this shit. You know what I mean? So it's just so that's the
Yeah.
that's the problem, right? Every time, because when I write my letters, I never mentions the word LGBTQ, never, ever,
Okay.
right? But the board is always the first one to bring it up. So what I suggest actually is never mention them, never mention the LGBTQ when you talk. Never let them come forward and talk about them, because they will.
Right.
They will come to you. You even if you never mentioned it one time, they will come to you and tell you that you are against them, that we should be diverse, and they are the first one who's going to bring it up. It's never us. When I'm attacking those books, I'm not talking about that community. Even when they read it.
Ja,
Oh,
du, mir geht's gut. Warte mal, ich gehe jetzt, ich bin in einem Ding, aber das ist okay. Ich bin in einem Zoom-Call, aber ja, wie geht's denn dir?
I need to shut off someone's mic. Sorry, Pierre.
That's okay.
Ja, komm, wir können jetzt schon sprechen. Wie geht's
Where
denn
did she
dir?
go?
Bist du umgezogen?
She's okay.
I'm just gonna mute.
Okay.
Where
Weil
is
ich habe nämlich hier E-Mail geschrieben, ich habe ein paar Mal versucht, dich anzurufen.
I think it's Sibyl, Sibylle.
Weil du hast ja gesagt,
I
also
don't
du
hear
bist
them
ja
all.
Ende des Monats schon raus.
She's not muted. Okay, now she's
Oh, yes,
muted.
Sibyl, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you
Sorry.
mute her?
Okay. So as we're saying,
Okay, good.
don't attach the letters to the LGBTQ because this is a separate issue. And are you saying that under the laws that you're showing that this is criminal and that they are breaking the law under what you're showing us right now?
Yeah, well, every.
No,
Yeah,
I know. I
yeah.
agree with you.
Yeah, it's sexual thing. Yeah, of course, you don't show porn to children. It's like
Of
it's
course.
common sense. It's more than common. It's just, I can't
I know.
believe we have to explain this to those people. I mean, yes, showing sexually explicit material is child abuse. If you look in every associations that are protecting children against child abuse, that's the definitions of it. If you show sexually explicit material to children, is a non-contactual sexual abuse. It's very simple. It's
I
just-
agree. So is there
because
any
you
other
remove, you
laws?
completely remove the innocence of children. You know, it's just and you show them to be, you show them things that they're not ready to see,
Well,
that they don't understand the complexity of it.
I agree. So as
So-
educators, principals, school staff, you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to attend a course for the Ministry of Children and Families for protocols for reporting child abuse. So they have only protocols that I had to go through every year. That you know they're violating their own protocols and stuff that they have to go through every year through the Ministry of Education when you are reporting on any sexual abuse that's happening with kids.
Yeah.
Is there any other laws that we need to be aware of when we're doing these letters?
Well, 171.1, I think, is one of the most important law. Well, you have to be aware of what is sexual abuse, being able to describe it, right?
Okay,
Which is you know, you can have lots of
so this is what we should add to the letter. What is child abuse?
yeah, sure. Yeah, I got actually in my letter is usually let's say go with what's free. I don't know. Yeah, I describe it. Here we go. So according to the Canadian Center of Child Protection, non-contact sexual abuse is as follows: encouraging a child to masturbate or watch other masturbate, secretly recording or observing a child in a private situation, exposing a child to individual engaging in sexually explicit act, which is the books. Okay, exposing a child to child sexual abuse materials, which is some of the books actually does contain child sexual abuse material, which is child pornography. Flashing or exposing genital to a child. So when you show the genitals on the box, it is a part of that actually. Communicating over technology to make it easy to commit a specific sexual offense against a child, learning a child. So it's all there. So yeah, so that and this is from the Canadian Center of Child Protection, but there are many organizations. It will always go back to the same thing. If you make research and you search what is non-contactual sexual abuse, look at this. That's another one here actually, from another site, I believe. Is that the same? Anyway, so that's the one. That's a screenshot of the site. So,
Okay, so we have to add in a letter that this is child abuse and this is the information we need to add.
yeah, yeah, you have to write to the lady. That's the way, right?
Yeah, and we can get this off your website.
As a parent, you see, as a parent and Canadian citizen, I'm concerned about the safety and well-being of those children under your authority. I have reason to believe that children or youth have been or could be likely abused or neglected based on what I have seen and information I have found on your library site. It's very simple. I'm just reporting a potential sexual abuse. I believe that the books and information found on your library site pose severe risk to the safety and well-being of our children under your authorities and care. Child's aged 5 years old up to 17 years old, schools sit below have been or at risk of being exposed to these books containing sexual reference, sexual activities, and sexual material. Some books also show children and adults engaged in or depicted as engaged in explicit sexually activity. An image, a movie or an image is the same thing. I mean, a picture of two real persons having sex and an image of two persons having sex is the same thing according to the law. There's no difference. So it cannot be shown to children. So yeah, so anyway, so I agree. Then I'm not gonna read everything. People can
You can get it off your website right
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Someone was
exactly.
asking in here, please share Pierre's website.
Yeah,
His website's
and,
actually, he's showing us right now his website, www.exposingsoji123.com. He's showing us his screen share right now of his website.
yeah.
Amrit, do you have a question regarding what he's showing us?
No, I want to make just a comment, just want to offer another perspective that why this is happening and why they don't change it. They already know everything, and law is already there, but the law is enforced by the enforcers. But if they are all together, then who will enforce it? You can put anything in criminal code. Just like in COVID, all the rights are there, but when government is hell-bent on abusing them, use the judiciary, police, everything with them, then who will enforce? So this is a similar situation here. They know, teachers know, school boards know, but they are happy to collect their checks. And the reason for this is a globalist agenda. School boards don't even know where it's coming from, but someone subtly pushing it through, and they have the tricks how to push it through. And if an average school board person doesn't have spine to oppose it because they see it's all over and their superiors instruct them to stay quiet, and they know that if they do anything, they will lose their job. So even if you make 1 or 2 schools take back the book from the library, remove it, but the giant machinery is there. They will come in different ways, in 10 different ways.
Well, we got to hack at them slowly, Amrit. We got to go one thing at a time. Let's get rid of the pornographic books because there's Grindr app. There's more young girls actually being raped in school right now. There's kids on the playground that are groping other kids because they're all the endorphins from the sex that they're being taught, the sexual behavior in the classroom with the worksheets, the whole bit. All of this stuff is increasing like crazy.
Yeah, I understand. So I'm not saying we should not do these initiatives. So we should do all the initiative going after teachers, school boards, ministry. But on the side, we also have to know that it's not as simple that they don't know, we make them aware and they say, oh, we correct it. They're all in this. So we need to know that. And that's why my approach is become a political force and threat these people at the ballot. So I'm just going to, that's what I'm trying to explain, that they already know it. If you think you show them criminal code, they already know it. They just don't want to enforce. And if they don't want to enforce, then what do you do? So I'm just explaining my position. So that's why I am going through the political party, and all the people who know this, if they collaborate together, become members and try to stand as MLA themselves. So that's another line of attack. I just want to mention that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, I understand, but I think, yeah, I agree with you. It's the political force is very important, but I think but exposing the truth and reminding people of what are the laws and what is sexual abuse, it had created a political force by itself, because we need a lot of people has been gaslighted, you know what I mean, and groomed to believe that what is going on right now is acceptable. Okay, so and the only way to go out of gaslighting in situations is to take track of the fact, of the facts and of the laws. And so because at some point, now we've been groomed to believe that this is okay. We teach people that, okay, no, it's not okay. Sexual abuse is this, it's illegal according to that. So we start to remove people from that spell that they believe that this is okay. Okay, but later what's going to happen is they're going to tell us, oh, it's never happened. The books were never there. We never did that. So they're going to start to gaslight us. So we have all those pieces of evidence, which are the email, which are the book locations, which are the book names, and all the little stuff that doesn't seem important right now, but later will help a lot when they are going back and gaslight us to tell us that we worry about nothing and never happened. They already start to say that there is no child that are getting to transitions in Canada, which completely false. We all have the evidence to prove it. So we have to go back and stop the gaslighting that is happening in all countries.
Yeah.
And provide evidence to
Well, what some people don't know, and some people on this call will be, is that there are wellness centers that are being put inside schools.
yeah.
They are being teamed with doctors, nurses, and psychologists. And on the websites for high schools and other schools, they're making it like it's a convenience for parents. You don't have to leave work. You can just have your appointments here. I'm like, appointments? Are you kidding me? So they're making it so that while you're at work, your child can consent to puberty blockers, hormone blockers, whatever they want, because they can just walk down the hallway and get it done. And in Canada, kids don't need consent. They can just go off and do whatever they want. So these wellness centers are all through the United States, are all coming through Canada. And it's a huge issue because not only do we have that, we also have the MAID program. So what? Now we're going to have kids committing I had a huge anxiety issue. I got my trans operation, didn't go well. I've got all these blurry brain eyes, whatever. It's a huge issue. So here you go. Yeah. With the gender the gender trans care.
Another part of, the main thing is to tell people that this is true. This is really happening. So look at this, BC Children's Hospital. If I click here, this going direct, this is on my site, but now it's on their site. So this is not just me doing a screenshot. You're going directly to this side. This is evidence. Okay. So here, the gender clinic with puberty blockers, and this is a children's hospital. Okay. They are saying it right here.
Yeah.
Accept referral up to patients of 17th birthday. It's right on this side. So it's happening. That's fact. So when they tell us it's not happening, no, it's happening. It's right there. And I actually got pictures of this shit.
Wow.
Yeah. So exactly. So that's one of the website, and you can even go.
These wellness centers that are in schools, they're not for like if there's a first aid incident in schools, because I was telling some people, we didn't even have a nurse in our school. I was the nurse in our school, and I got called in saying, hey, there's an incident at the office. Can you come deal with it? Because he couldn't even afford a nurse full-time out of school, not even once a week at the school. So this is a load of crap. These wellness centers is to get the kids on this.
Yeah. And look, here I'm on the BC Children's Hospital, and look, this is the BC, the roadmap to
there you go.
transitions.
Yeah.
So here, right there, treatment options. Also receive a referral. We will send you to your doctor. Blah blah blah. I think these 2 appointments. And there we go. Begin treatment, puberty blockers, gender affirming hormones. We will see you regularly during this time. Blah blah. Right. And this is just like the medications. They are also offering mastectomy, which is the
Mastectomy.
Yeah, that one is
Top surgery. Yeah.
Top surgery. Yeah, the mutilations of the breast of LT.
The youngest child that has gone through a transgender operation is 2 years old. 2 years old is the youngest that they have transitioned a child.
So on that,
my goodness.
Yeah. So this is BC trans,
That's
right?
terrible.
The same principle. This is for, you see, social affirming, mystical affirmations. If I go mystical affirmations, gender affirming surgery, right? And this is children's puberty blockers, and right here you got gender affirming surgery. Sometimes performed for youth under the age of 18 years, 19 years old. So I don't think in Canada they do like they change the penis for vagina, but I think they have the right to cut the breasts of little girls. They do this. So
and this is in every province. We're just showing you what BC looks like. Your province, look it up. You're gonna have a Trans Care Alberta, Trans Care Ontario.
Yeah,
because it's a global agenda, so of course it's pushed everywhere.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I got a good quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. Is that her?
Who?
Eleanor Roosevelt. She wrote the human rights after the World War II. What was
Okay.
her name? Eleanor. Wait a minute, I'm gonna find her. And she said, you know, that small change has to happen in a little place when nobody can. I'm just gonna paraphrase it, but she said that if change don't happen in little place when no one can see, there is no. Oh my God, that was a nice quote anyway. I'm gonna have to find it back, but
Eleanor
it's important
Roosevelt.
to, you know, I know there is a global agenda, but it's important to cut the legs of that agenda. You know what I mean? And I think that the schools are the Achilles heel of those Marxists at the top that want to destroy us. Okay, it is because in school they are making those little justice warriors that are going to
Yes.
fight us later.
Yes.
So if we stop it right in schools by, you know, we just do what we do, and even children now they start to fight back. Children start to fight
Yes.
back because they
That's
saw
right.
this on the news. They
Save
said, oh my
Canada.
gosh, there is growing up people that are seeing what's going on, and they are going to be with us. So you see, we have to stop the indoctrination, the mutilation of our children, and the indoctrinations of our children to become social justice warriors, right? And to, you know, to push this kind of crap and into the wall even more. So I think, you know, the mistake that those Marxists did, actually, I think it's a big mistake, is that they went after the children. It's a big mistake.
Well, I think the
So-
children thing, some of us who know about sex trafficking, child trafficking,
Yeah.
this has been going on for many,
Mhm.
many years, way past COVID, 50 years and more. And they
Yeah.
are arresting these pedophile rings. But now, you know, we're seeing it out in the open in our
Yeah.
schools
The
and
thing-
then grooming kids to continue.
They mutilate children out of the opens right now. It's a part of, you know, the kind of the culture, mutilating children. That, you know, it's crazy. And you know, giving puberty blockers to a child is mutilating the child. It is chemical castrations.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
those drugs that the Lupron used to be given to pedophiles to chemically castrated them. They stopped giving it to pedophiles because it was too hard on them. It was too hard on pedo, so they stopped to give it to them. But now they give it them.
They're
They
giving
give
it
it
to
that kind
kids.
of drug to children. So it's made to castrated children.
But
So
you and I know, and I'll answer Jennifer and the other person, and I'm going to have to get David on because David's 3 hours ahead of us. We know that this is part of the depopulation. We also know that the gay scumbag elites who are feeding this machine have their eyes on fertility. How am I going to make money? Because obviously we're not going to have women that are going to be having babies. We're not going to have men that are producing sperm. So now they've already got the technique, Dolly the sheep and many others, to have babies born in artificial womb. It'll be an AI artificial womb that a child will grow outside the body because now you don't have humanity being able to reproduce. And this is where they are wanting to go, to possess the women biology and to create a new species. This is exactly, you guys can find it. Watch Jennifer Black on who's behind the transgender agenda. She has data and stats on it, on where these sickos want to go. So I don't want to cut you off, but I see the other person left. Jennifer, are you still there? She had her hand up and I think she wanted to ask you a question with the page you were on. Jennifer? Oh, I'm gonna have to go back to her. Her screen is empty. And there was another person that had their hand up. They put their hand down. I'll have to come back to Jennifer.
So that one is a key 3 lesson. This is I'm right on the BC. Oh, sorry. I'm right on the, wait a minute. This is the BC here. BC.
BC Teachers Federation,
BC,
which is
yeah, exactly. So it is
huge hands. This is where they're getting all their SOGI curriculum.
Yeah. And look what they are. You see this, what they're saying here? That's for key 3 children. So they ask them to, they ask the boys and the girls to draw a penis and testicles and a vulva on a piece of paper. I don't know what's the purpose of it, other than grooming, right? Yeah. So this is right on the site. No, the path is this because I don't know the document, but I don't know the document from there here. So
But I would say people who are doing this letter writing, I would add this as evidence. What they're doing, they actually have assessments, books, curriculum, how things are spoken. Pierre, I'm going to just rush you through because I want to get David to
Sure.
be able to talk about
yeah, of course. Yeah.
is doing the identity. One thing before I go is I wanted you to, oh shoot, what am I trying to thought? Oh crumb. Not the BCTF, not the, well, the ARC Foundation is part of this. They had the BCTF website. What was the other thing? Oh, sorry, I lost my train of thought that I knew you have
Okay.
it. And it's lost my mind. I'll come back.
Another thing, so if you want to look at the at all the teacher that has teacher misconduct case related to sexual abuse, you can go on this
Mhm.
on this one, then you search the name and the oops, you search any names and it's going to give you the name. Then you click on the case, and the case, if you click here, the case is directly on this side. This is not on my side anymore. This is a link to this side. So you can download the case directly from this side. So it's not, yeah, so there we go. So I got a little
Teacher
document here that talk about,
misconduct.
yeah, that talk about mid-school abuse. And at the end of this document,
Oh, I'm still recording everybody, so you don't have to take notes.
yeah, that's one of the books I removed actually, that one here, the gender book.
A question long time ago, Alyssa had, I saw it, Alyssa, was you were talking about what did the RCMP say about pornography in Chilliwack? Was that your question?
Oh.
Alyssa? Oh, she wanted to
Yes.
ask you, Pierre, about the pornographic book in Chilliwack.
Yeah. So what was the question?
Oh, just recently the RCMP, you remember with Reichelt, what's her face, Willow Reichelt, and the RCMP said it wasn't pornography, just sort of a sweeping statement.
Yeah.
I just don't know how they can
Ridiculous.
cover that with the kind of books that we're looking at.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that I replied to the
They just
RCMP
lie.
about that. I think that was a very dangerous and statement that the RCMP did, because they didn't explain clearly what they were saying, and it gave the idea that it is okay to show this to children, but wait a minute, what about there? The way they say it doesn't meet the criminal. Okay, the
But
claim
it's
was in
general.
regards to
They say
section.
all books,
No, but the claim was in regards to section 163, which is child pornography. And that's the problem. The claim was not based on section 171.
Oh.
And I know that before a lot of people was referring to section 163. Section 163 is child pornography. Not all the books contain child pornography, but most of the books that I got there contain sexually explicit material. Child pornography is a child having sex with another child, or having sex with an adult or something like that, right? Which is child sexual abuse material in reality. But yeah, so like the book containing scenes of incest, this is child pornography. But the other one, so that's the problem, right? I know at that time section 163 was in the air, but it's not all about that sections. 171.1 is the key sections. Yeah, so yeah, and the way that they write this, it said it didn't meet the criminal. There is a term that she used. So,
well, didn't the RCMP tell you because the education approved this as appropriate curriculum because of the LGBTQ plus? Isn't that what they told you?
No. They
okay.
just said that the book we talk about didn't contain child pornography.
Okay.
Which is yeah, maybe she was right actually. Maybe the book that the complainant was talking about did not contain child pornography, but the person who complained was referring to section 163. That's you understand? So they didn't refer to the proper sections, and of course, probably that person, that the RCMP is freaking corrupt to the core, so she didn't want to explain that too. You know what I mean? And I have nothing against the police, but there are a few of them that definitely should wake up a little bit more, especially when they are in charge of the sexual abuse department. You know what I mean? Because yeah, it's just.
Does that answer your question, Alyssa?
Yeah.
Okay, Jennifer.
I can't
back
forward
now,
you the
Jennifer?
email. Huh?
Jennifer, are you back? I saw you on the screen.
I emailed.
Jennifer, are you still there? Yep, I see her face. Jennifer, did you have a question for Pierre before we move on to David? Because David Tudor is on Ontario. He's way ahead of us in time change.
That's right.
Sorry, I did, but my 2-year-old is like losing it, and
Oh,
I'm just
sorry.
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to right now. So I'm just gonna remute my mic and try and deal with
Maybe you can ask your question later
Oh.
when they're a little.
You want that.
wait a
Yeah.
minute. Hang on. Okay, actually I may have just a minute all of a sudden. Okay.
Okay.
The magical juice box did the trick. Anyway, so essentially I have done all of the steps that we were talking about, right? First you go to the librarian, you go to the teacher, then you go to the principal, well, vice principal, then principal in my case. Then I went to the superintendent, actually first the head of HR, the assistant superintendent, the superintendent, as well as the head of HR, which is also in our case, the programming, the head of programming. So the lady who is in charge of implementing SOGI in our school district. So I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right. The gentleman who was running for a political position in Surrey. I completely agree with him. That's the experience that I've had, is they all know exactly what's going on. They all know how precarious this is, and they kind of don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. So all they've been doing is talking us in circles, meeting after meeting, pretending that they're none the wiser of what is going on, and that this is all under, like you say, inclusivity and all of that garbage, right?
Well, they're also
So,
hiding under the human rights too, right? Because they
well, but
amended
this is the
trans-
thing, is that they don't even, the amount of research that we've done just trying to figure out what's going on, we know more than they do. So every single meeting that I've had to sit on, I am schooling them on what books they have in their libraries, what the books contain, as well as what human rights are, what our rights as parents are. They don't even know half of what we know. So, and they don't want to let us know that we know more than them. Okay, this is very uncomfortable, like the whole situation for them. So basically, I'm not getting anywhere, right? And they don't want to remove any books because they're trying to say that even if they are on the SOGI list, and then some of the incredibly inappropriate books that they have aren't on the SOGI list, they still, this is their default. They can do no wrong. They don't want to be told that they're doing anything wrong. Everything they're doing is right. The decisions, like, nobody can question this. So I'm at the point where I am going to go to the judicial level, right, that Pierre is talking about, and I want to do that. So I think, like, maybe I need to connect with Pierre.
Yeah.
Well, I think you
to
and I
get this
should
done,
connect
because
with,
this is what we're doing, and
What
I
school
can't,
district?
I've gone as far as I can go beyond this. This is, yeah, the next step.
we can set you up with a meeting, a lady that Pierre's been working with and a lady that I've worked off and on. Her name is Helen. And maybe
Okay.
we can set up a meeting on the process of judicial review, because there is a process.
Okay.
She's been teaching me about it because I didn't know very much on the
Mhm.
information, what you actually have to have in place. And then once it's all fitted in and formed, you can't change it back. So you got to really make sure that you get all the details and info. So Jennifer, if you just keep in touch with me, either me and Pierre or get Helen on that call to teach us that process.
So which
Okay.
school district are you referring to?
So I'm dealing with school district 20, mostly. I have another child in school district 8, but it's school district 20 that I've been going for all of these meetings with.
Okay. Okay, good.
I
Perfect.
have a 7-year-old in a kindergarten grade 1 class at Castlegar Primary, which is where you probably have heard the story of Emily Duggan. We were working to get the drag queen story time canceled in Nelson, which was canceled. They're trying to say it was because of threats, but, well, police investigations have led to the threats being against us and nothing else. So we need to expose that too. but a kindergarten grade 1 teacher just down the hallway from my daughter decided to have an impromptu drag queen storytime event, take pictures of it, and then post it on her personal Instagram saying, when the Nelson Public Library cancels their drag queen story time, you bring it to the classroom, hashtag sorry, not sorry. And she didn't blur out any of the kids' faces. So I went in that morning to serve notices of liability to the school regarding just the books that were in the school. And then I ended up serving a notice of liability at the same time because of that happening. We just found it out that morning. So I've already served notices of liability also for this situation. So I don't know if that is a step, but that portion has already been done also. Like they know that we're aware, they know that we've asked them to remove the books, and they're aware of the content of the books too.
Okay, that's good. I got the list of books on that school district, but maybe
Okay.
it's time to shame them a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll take care of it.
No, so Jennifer, Pierre and I, and I'll try and get Helen in a call, and we'll help you out with the next spot.
That's awesome. Okay, so I'll contact you guys then, like in a separate capacity, and move
Yeah, it'll
forward
be a
with that
separate
then.
meeting. In a separate meeting.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. I'm going to go put my children to bed now because they're just
Perfect.
losing it. And I'll thank you guys so much. You have a lovely night. Okay.
Me too. Bye.
Thanks.
Okay, I don't mean to cut you off, Pierre, or to be rude to you because you are.
David, time. Let's go.
Where is
You know
David?
what, so.
Hey, David. So
Yeah.
you are in Ontario. I am. My apologies. You've been sitting through. People want to know the book about identical, which is the last candidate thing that you dealt with. It's all your time, my friend.
Okay. Did you want to turn off the recording as well? Because I wanted
Oh,
to share
yes.
some stuff.
Yes.